universally agree on is it's definitely French. Now, how I would normally judge a vehicle is by its overall performance, but we're going to stick to one statistic today, and that is penetration, which is something this poor little guy is really suffering from. Relatable. Where most tanks of this BR have at least 50mm of penetration, this poor little croissant, he only has 27. Yep, not a lot. And yes, before someone goes screaming to Reddit, I know that Igo Co has a worse shell, but he also gets access to at least a heat. It can't get any worse, right? Well, you're wrong. Only 2 crew members inside means if one of them passes away, the tank's back to the hangar. At very least, this thing is heavily armoured. Ha! Wrong again. 20mm up front, 18mm on the side, and 35mm on top, which, in all fairness, is 5 more millimeters than me. Now, before we start this adventure, a quick reminder that I'm uploading every day in May, except from yesterday, because of this little guy.
If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet.
That wee dog is called Cass, and he was getting surgery on his teeth, and I just wanted to be there for him and be a nervous dog dad. Anyway, it's time to let the pain and suffering commence. Yes, that does mean bread. Let's get into battle, and I'll show you how I got on. Oh boy, let's go then. Sadly, we're not against Italy. That would have been a little bit easier. Oh, we're against Russia, dude, please. Can I even pen a BT-5? Oh, no, this was such a terrible idea. To be honest, the Conehead tank, just saw a little M8 I probably could have got. Actually, is he going to swing all the way around here? Because if he does, I might be able to catch him out. Oh, he is. Oh my god, we got a kill in our first game. Let's go. And a cat. We're unstoppable. That might be the only one. What we get? It was quite an opportunistic vehicle to shoot at. So, you know, as long as we don't have a Panzer II rushes, I think we're going to be fine. I might go down here. I don't know. It seems like I'll be incredibly unsafe if someone comes up my right-hand side. But it does mean that we've got a little place to kind of move backwards and forwards. I'm sure the rivets will protect us. They've always been a good idea on tanks. Oh my god, it's so loud. We're actually being flanked by a Panzer III, and there's a guy coming this way. I can hear him. I'm setting up for him. You hear that? Everyone on YouTube who has a headset is like Monka S right now. He's here. Oh, it's another M8. He's backing up. I got another one. Was that the same guy? My team is getting wiped out on that corner, kinda, but also the enemy team is like pushing through the park at sea. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum. Someone is there. Maybe I should just push him. We got 2 kills, right? Yeah, let's go. The guy might be... Oh, it's a squeezy boy thing here. Oh, it's a 20mm one. This is really bad. No way! I hit him in the weak spot. It was a flick shot too. Can I even pin this guy? Brother, we've secretly discovered the best tank of all time. There's another light tank here. My teammate just got shot by him. Must be a BT, right? I can't see a thing because of all this fire. It's another T-28. I can't see anything, dude. My high graphics settings are not lending me any favors. So much fire. I know I can driver hatch him, but it's actually been able to see the driver hatch. No, we can't driver hatch him. I've made a mistake. In fact, we cannot driver hatch this man. And now I'm alone. A BT.
Go now,
and a Panzer 38. Yeah, keep driving. The big boy is pushing me.
Let me continue the telling with Teldrassil grown.
No. We got an ace though. Right, we're going again. What is happening in the chat, dude? We're literally playing reserved here. I let the M2 go first because I don't want to end up getting bullied by a guy. Quite a common occurrence when you're playing a little dinky tank. People just shove you out of the way. Right, they're on A, so we're going to have to go around this way. There's a lot of enemies
Without
left.
the blessings
I
of
forgot
Alex
about this gap.
Straza, the Lifebinder, and
that's bad
Nosdormu,
because
the Timeless,
it sounds like somebody is
growth
actually
has
there.
Not been without flaw.
In fact, is this dude coming out in front of me here?
Strange beasts have been reported arising from the very ground of the tree, and crazed furbolgs
I
attack
can hear him, I just don't
passing
see anything.
I can only hope that the solution the
Sounds like a
Archdruid is
BT.
looking for will
It's
be
a BT.
found quickly. I will pour
Okay.
all the files you brought into this
Shot
vessel
down in
for
his
you to
prime.
deliver to Darnassus. Bring it to Fandral Staghill.
We're going, we're
You will
going, we're
find
going.
him in the Druid Grove.
27 millipen's all you need. I'm proving it. Right, we're the only person on the cap. There's no enemies here yet. There will be, there's somebody coming.
So Relian sent you to aid me.
I think I'll go back to this little hidey hole. This was pretty
I've
good.
discovered something quite disturbing. In a cave
It's
along
a-
the southern
it's a
bank of the
fans
lake,
of
a
two.
timberling named Oakenscowl
I literally
is
can't
spreading
pin him.
corruption
I literally
to
can't
all
pin him
creatures
anywhere,
in
which is
Lake
the most
Aladdin.
annoying thing. Where am I getting
I
pushed
dared
from
not
here?
get too close, but even from a distance,
Okay,
it
my
is
teammate, my
obvious.
M22 is shooting the...
Oakenscowl is being
Panzer II.
poisoned by
Never
the
mind.
largest tumor I have ever
Okay,
seen.
T28 is coming back as
I
well.
would call it
Getting bombed.
gargantuan. Adventurer.
Wait,
You have already done
a
much
bit of
to
bad
aid
news.
my
This is quite a long-range
But I
map,
ask of
so
you
we're gonna have to
one
go
more
brawl
time.
on sea.
Hunt down Oakenscowl
Or
and collect
against
the
Russia
tumor.
again, and also
Remove the
Britain.
source of
And I think
corruption from
most
my
British
home.
tanks have at least 30mm of armor. No China that we can just shoot M8s and get free kills. Oh, jeez, oh. What is the little hatch in the back? That's how they get in, boys. That's how they get in. Yeah, one thing's for sure, if this thing was in battle, no one's ever getting out of it. Not unless they're in a bucket, especially after that T28 shot us. I think I could have maybe handled that a bit better, but I mean, we couldn't pin that area, so I mean, oh my god, will you give it up? What I want to do is sort of maybe set a corner and hope for the best. See where these guys are going to push out from. Oh, for God's sake. It's a thing. The Panzer II has arrived, and another T28 as well. Does this guy know I'm here?
Our urban alchemy shop
I
is
think he
booming,
might.
but my husband spends so much time
Alright, I've
mixing
actually knocked this
potions
driver out.
that we never have time for each other. Can you help
Get
us?
away from me.
If you can bring me a supply
Yeah, I
of
know, I know.
pre-made elixirs, then I would be happy to trade with you. I have some
Alright.
rare herbs that you might find.
We got the one
useful.
guy. The other dude's driven off.
How may I help?
Like, see if he was side on or something, this wouldn't be half as bad. Which way are you coming at me, dude? Where does he think I've gone? Oh my god, I made a mistake. We capitalized. Hello, M8. Oh, yes! Dude, we took C. Unbelievable display of skill and talent against people who are absolutely brand new to the game.
Greetings.
Cut that bit out in
These are
editing.
nice
Just
to
kidding,
meet.
I do my own editing.
You take great
No one will
care
ever
of
know how
your
this worked.
adventurer, and that is
Especially not
important
myself.
for an alchemist. Here are your
There is a
herbs,
plane coming, though.
freshly gathered.
And a tank.
May you use them
Please don't
well.
be a Stuka. That happened last time. Nice. Congratulations. What is this thing? Oh, it's that anti-air boy. No, it's not. Let's go, dude. You're getting absolutely murdered by the worst tank in the game. I think I had a harder time in the bubble. Brother, are you good here? Do you not see that murder up there? Or I don't know. Did F this guy in front of me. This is not good. Are you aiming at my teammate? No, he's aiming at me. I didn't get him. He's got a faster reload than me and I get killed by a BT-7. This A-mate got me killed, dude. All he had to do was just drive around me. Right, here we go again. To be fair, the guy who rammed me, that was his 30th battle or something. No, they're back on C. That's the BT. That's the BT decapping that. And I don't know if he's actually just going to stick to it and cap it. or if he's just gonna decap and drive to the more aggressive position. I can definitely hear someone. Oh my god, the amount of effort it felt like to go through there. Right, good. There's definitely a guy on my left. This is probably the BT. I'm being surrounded. It was the BT. Right. And now there's the Yagd.
Hello, champions of Azeroth. Gordon, Chef here, whatever you want to call me. Drew. Boom. I don't think many people are going to argue with that. Next up, it's a little funky. It's a little funky here. Some people, they like to do Omen of Clarity Rush. It's not bad. I see the reasoning behind it, but instead of taking the Moonfire, they're just going to start going straight down into natural weapons in the balance tree. So, same usual, you max Wrath if you can. I would put 1 point into Nature's Grasp. You could, if you don't want to get it for whatever reason, you could just go 5 and 5, through Wrath, and then 5 and 5 natural weapons. This is a fantastic talent later in the game. It scales phenomenally. 10% increased physical damage, 15% per skill, 5 skills maxed out. It is amazing. The 40s, 50s, obviously at max level as Feral Druid. When you're putting this as early as you could put this in at level 15, damage at level 15, your white hit 20, maybe hitting for 60. So 2% of that is negligible. And then by the time you're 19, again, physical damage only. You're maybe hitting for 30 with staff, so you get 3 extra damage there. Maybe hitting for 50 non-crit mauls, 5 damage. That is not worth putting 5 non-points in my opinion. But what a lot of people do say is worth Zone of Clarity. Fantastic. Anything that makes you clear cast this is such a valuable talent for your range. It keeps you healthy, you can get a free spell, you can get extra damage by casting whatever it is. Because, say you get proc, mob dies, pop out, get a full regrowth. Regrowth costs a lot of mana, but if you get it for free, that just keeps your uptime so much more often healthy as a druid. I don't like it early on though, because again, the way I think druid should be optimized is you're not ever going to be fully boom or doing something as a druid. If you are boom, ideally you're in castle, ideally you're in bear form while you're regenerating that mana, still being able to deal a decent amount of damage, and you're not going to need that free clear cast, because the way I kill things again, pull 2 mobs, kill one of them halfway with your mana pool by casting Wrath, Moonfire, and then go to there and half finish it off, and by the time you heal yourself, because you have decent damage for, people like to say, 32, 36 are Druid's house knights, but if you get cast on your show, you do a ton of damage as a fan, I'm not gonna lie. So, I don't think Omen of Clarity is the way to go. A lot of people say this strat, not a fan. And then the other side of things, again, this is the third build where, let me backtrack. there's so many deviations. People might do Omen of Clarity and then they rush full Feral Druid. I think that just delays the Power Spike PvD Feral, and some super crazy people, in my opinion, go Omen of Clarity and then 5 out of 5 Fur. Fur is a fantastic talent later in the game. Again, it's fantastic in a level 60 situation, power shifting, getting as much DPS output as you can as Cat Druid, or in case of the oh crap moment where you need to instantly shift bear form to feral charge something, interrupt it, get bash off, guaranteed to get that rage. It's pretty good. Is it worth putting 5 talent points in at level 25? Absolutely not. It is, again, natural weapons scenario, fantastic talent, later in the game. This just forever. You're level 25 and you haven't put a single point in the feral combat yet. You're tripping. I don't know how people do that. And they go all the way down to the feral tree. Let's just do a little hypothetical. You are level 37. You can start getting your using the feral tree mounts. Feral charging is amazing. Sharp claws is amazing. Blood frenzy, obviously. Getting extra combo.
Welcome, my sister. If you are here to train, I would be delighted to train you. There are rumors of strife within the Cenarian circle, but you should pay such loose talk no heed. Our arch-druid Fandral Staghelm leads us and all of Teldrassil to glory. Welcome back, adventurer. I sense that your first meeting with the Great Bear Spirit is the same as it is with all druids when they first start down the path of the Claw. A little bewildering, but very intense. I know it was that way with me. The Great Bear Spirit has been a part of Azeroth, as long as Azeroth has existed in the heavens. We have come to rely on its wisdom and its power to fuel our purpose. Now, the time has now come for your first test of this purpose. Listen closely. Directly east of Auberdine lay many Moonkin caves. The one closest to Auberdine has a Moonkin stone inside it. Lunaclaw, the defender of the stone, will face you only when Cenarian moondust is applied to it. Lunaclaw possesses within it a strength that you must use as one of the Claw. You've earned the right to use this Cenarian moondust, adventurer. Now show me that you've earned the right to possess the strength of body and the strength of heart needed as a druid. Ah, yes, the water I had requested. Tanaron and Corethus certainly took their time in having it delivered, perhaps not choosing the most reliable of messengers. Nonetheless, I can finally get back to my work then. The weight of Teldrassil's problems fall upon my shoulders, a yoke I would wish to soon be rid of. Take this, you may find some use for it.
4 points into Improved Wrath, and then you go for 5 Moonfire. And then you respec, hit level 20, respec, get Nature's Grasp, and then start running down the feral tree. I just don't like respecing that early on, and I don't like not spending and being home and drinking. I prefer to sit and fight in bear form and pull maybe 2-3 mobs and just kill them in bear form. So my first point, level 10, Nature's Grasp, gotta get it. Too freaking good to not grab. And then you start going all the way down the feral tree, and you rush all the way to the leader of the pack. You could rush Heart of the Wild, we'll talk about that when we get down there. Then, at this point, you are level 15. I like to go 2 points improved Brutal Impact and improved Bash, get that extra second stun. It can give you a little bit more wiggle room in the open world. Most druids are in Darkshore at this point, and a lot of people know Darkshore is it's a pretty scary zone if you don't know what you're doing. A lot of bears hidden in trees will come out and get you. That 1 extra second allowing you to get that much wiggle room, you don't know another regrowth cast off. It's pretty nice. You could go 5 out of 5 thick hide, but again, this is a scaling talent where just armor contribution doesn't stack with any other armor buffs as well as just base armor. Your gear's not that good. There's not a lot of armor value items in the game at this point, so I prefer to go Brutal Impact and then 3 out of 5 thick hide. You could start pulling it into Feral Aggression, but you don't get first by turn 32, so you really only get half of that talent. So don't go that. Then this is tier 3. Feral is so good. Everything is juicy. You're level 20 at because you don't need to get Feline Swiftness at level 20. I get it at level 21 and 22. This can be interchanged, however you want to do it. If you don't take Nature's Grasp, again, I think controlling if you don't take it, so we could get rid of that, and you could have Feline Swiftness right at 20, so you go at 15%.
It's too far away.
Pretty much all the time. At level 20, you can like that. Some people, you're not too like to have another save point again. You could put your level 21 talent in the Feral Charge. This isn't just used as an silence in the sense that you interrupt the ability of a mob. This is really good for a lot of the Nagas and Ashenvale. There's starting to get into red race, casters there, interrupting lots as well. But you can also use this situation. Say you have control. It only costs 5 rage, so you get hit maybe 2 or 3 times, you have 5 rage. Or if you do 1 auto attack and it hits successfully, you have 5 rage. So you have 2 or 3 mobs chasing you behind you, you turn around and you see a mob that is 20, 25 yards away from you. You could charge to that mob, and what's nice is it immobilizes it. It roots the mob for 4 seconds. So you're going to put 20 yards
too far away
between everything that was chasing you, charge to a mob, root that mob, and then you're able to run. This is super nice for getting out of really sticky situations, because at this level, you're 21, you're probably doing early red rage. It's pretty scary in some situations. You could overpull murlocs, you could overpull gnolls, stuff like that. So if you're a little sketched out, I would recommend getting that right at level 21. I prefer to just go 2 points straight into Feline Swiftness at 21, 22. Moving that 30% speed for the rest of the killing things. And then level 23, yeah. Does it delay your Blood Frenzy? Yeah, but the argument is you're putting boom, 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 your points into Sharpened Claws here, getting that extra crit chance is amazing with Druid. You're level 26 at this point. I could see either way. Which you're going to max Predatory Strike and Blood Frenzy. Both are 20,000 counts. You're getting 150% increased melee attack power by maxing Predatory Strike. I'd probably take that first, because at this point, you're mid-20s on the Druid. Your only combo point usage is Rip. You don't really rip too much at level target killing, because by the time the mob dies, rips maybe only ticked for 2 or 3 times. Your time to kill is super efficient at this point as a cat druid, and you're not getting max value out of rip, so you don't really care to stack combo points from using Blood Frenzy. So I'd probably take these after Predatory Strikes, because just getting that increased raw attack power is very beneficial. And then you're coming down. Gonna take all of this tree as well. Savage Fury, getting increased damage to your claw, your maw, your swipe. I don't know swipe ever, but 20% increased damage to the claw. The cat form is amazing. I would take that. This is such a good talent, you guys. Doesn't cost anything. 6-second cooldown, instant cast, and you can use it from a decent range, 30 yards of range. You can use this in bear form or cat form. This keeps your tempo, your ramp up permanently as a druid player. You're killing 2 mobs, you pop out, throw a rejuve on yourself, go back in cat form. You're running out of mob, and you want to pull it. Boom, Fairy Fire Feral. It starts, it's running at you, you're kicking up to full energy. By the time the mob gets to you, you have full energy, so you don't need fervor again. I think that's a little sus to take that early on. So boom, you're online, you're level 32, you have Fairy Fire Feral, and you get Ferocious Bite. Huge power spike as a druid here. You finally get a combo point finisher. Your damage dealer, your saucer, your time to kill just explodes as a druid now, because you can actually use your energy properly, your combo points properly. And then you go down into Savage Fury, and you have to put 1 more combo point into something just so you can get down to Heart of the Wild. You're 1 combo point short. You could start maxing Feral Aggression if you want, so you get damage to that fucking fight now that you have it. You can put that point there. You can put it in Tide if you want 2% armor. You could have a little bit more improved stealth. I don't really think you should care for that. I'd go either Feral Aggression or the Tide. I'd probably go Feral Aggression, because I just know my limits and I want to start getting that time to kill quicker with every level. Now you're 35, and this is where things just get fun. Heart of the Wild. 4% intellect in human form, 4% stamina in bear, 4% strength in cat form. Strength is your basically your best stat as a druid, because you get 2 attack power, whereas you get 1 attack power for every agility, but also you get dodge, you get crit chance with agility as well. But 5 points into this, 20% increased damage, essentially. That's disgusting. And you have a bigger mana pool to then go out of form, shift out of form, top yourself off after your kills, and get rolling with that. Now here, I think you just take group leader. That's a TBC in that time. Just leader of the pack, 3% crit. That's pretty efficient. 1 talent point and you get 3% crit. I'm liking what we're seeing. We're level 41. At this point, if you have decent gear, you're probably sitting around a baseline of 20 to 25% crit chance as a druid. If you're an alchemist, you could bump that up to almost 30% at this point with consumes. It's pretty nasty how much crit chance you have at this point in the game. And here's where you could go, a little deviation. You could start to go fur if you want. Again, I think power shifting is trolling the leveling situation. This is a leveling video. So I like to go down into over 30 now. So I'm going to start maxing Improved Nature's Grasp because at this point you're never casting Wrath. You're always perma-feral combat. So get that Improved Nature's Grasp. Gives you a 100% chance, unless it resists, to root the mob if it strikes you with the melee ability. That's awesome. Max rank root again. So now we go down to natural weapons. You're getting 2% for every skill, so 10% physical damage at level 50 now. That's huge. You're starting to hit for a couple hundred. So that's increased damage right there. Then we go Omen of Clarity, level 51. And at this point, you are just shredding through your mobs, man. It is so efficient. You're basically never having to drink. You're always pulling, no downtime. You don't have time to take a drink of water in your life because you're always doing something as a druid player at this point. It's so much fun. And then here you have a couple of options that you could go. Some people like to go for, because you do now have Omen of Clarity. It's not bad. I prefer to go Natural Shapeshifter just because shifting costs so much mana, and you're in a hardcore situation where if you're in, at this point 54, the steps, prey glands, Flowwood, you might be venturing out with Wonder. If you catch yourself Boom, it's on cooldown, Iterate's on cooldown,
I need to get
you need a cheetah form, you need to go bear form, you can't, runs over. You can't shift. That's lights out, man. That would be such a terrible way to go. So I prefer to get that 30% reduced shapeshift just as a safety. And then, again, like I said, your last talent points are going to be going into fur, and then 60 talent can go into whatever. The whole build changes at 60, which we'll make that another video, depending on if there's a bunch of endgame content. But that is my ideal build path, and how I always play Feral Druid as a hardcore player. And what's nice about this is, I totally forgot to mention this, doing this build, and the other builds for that matter, is if you're wanting to do dungeons as a druid, you have so many options. You can tank, you can DPS, you out DPS almost every single class as cat druid early on. I'm just saying, stay pumped. I got logs to prove it. And then you can actually still heal while being deep feral. All the way up, I would say, don't heal past an Omer or an RFK or an RFD or 40 dungeon. You can heal SF as well as deep feral. Crazy people like Grace, shout out to Father Grace, Grace for days. He healed Maradon as full feral. He had a couple pieces of healing gear, some intellect, some spirit on there, but he was able to do it without respecking. I wouldn't. I think that was so risky. That was a great run that he did there, though. He was able to do it. After Maradon, you're definitely trolling. You want to respec. But with this build, you can do pretty much every single dungeon in hardcore setting as any spec. Tanking, you're guessing, or you're healing. It's fine. So it does help to have a little bit of side of things. But it just makes it so easy to integrate. And there's a bunch of good gear that will help scale with this Heart of the Wild in those dungeons. So that is my preferred leveling path. God, this video went on long, but it's just something that I want to throw out there because I'm passionate about it. I want you guys to be pumpers on druids. Love seeing orange classes being played in hardcore situation. Feel free to argue with me in the comments. I'll argue 24/7 with people, or on Discord and ping me, tell me I'm an idiot, or, you know, agree with me, boost my ego even more. But the video's going on long enough, I'm going to cut it there. That is the hardcore preferred leveling route for talents as a druid. let me know if you want to see other Druid-specific videos as well. I'm definitely down to make them for you guys. So that's it. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
The transmogs in the game really give you this this power, this sense of like visceral power progression for your character.
Right.
And so they're meant to really like bring that to life, grounded in Diablo's story and its world and its lands. And what the shop offers is a lot of diversity. So like the way that we wanted diversity of like the fantasies
Sure.
that you can experience and that you can express. So the way that we wanted to support the development of the seasons was to, you know, add things to the game that players would appreciate, you know, to create art and beautiful things that are grounded in Diablo 4's world and its art style, but
Hey guys, sorry I'm
provide
late.
this like array of class fantasies. And so for example, if you want to be like a thunder goddess as a sorceress, or you want to be a big barbarian that like rips the tongues out of your enemies and puts them on your armor.
Very specific. That was very specific.
though. That's good.
Yeah.
Unsettling, but very specific.
You can, you know, the shop is going to help provide a lot of this like diversity in the types of fantasies, and then you can take all those
I don't know why they
pieces
try to sell the
and
shop.
mix and match them
It's
with
just
the
to
cool
make
stuff
money.
that you find in the
Chill out.
game to express yourself all
That's
kinds
just the
of
way it is.
ways.
Yeah, I think one fun thing about this too, like players got a chance. Like I saw,
Tongue ripping? Is that the fun thing? Is that-
There's-
absolutely,
yeah, tongue
absolutely.
ripping.
But no, I was actually going to talk about. I was going to talk about our previous betas. We got a chance to see a lot of players making really cool-looking customized characters in the game, and all of the gear they're collecting, it's still very low-level gear. Like, there's much more stuff to go find.
Wait, there's
Yeah,
more
wait
beyond
till you
level
get
20?
to the end game.
There's a lot more looks and appearances to find as you're progressing through more of the game.
One of the things I love about the equipment that's in the game is that we actually do regional themed armor.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, this is not.
Here's our
these are
side
cool.
by sides.
This is not my
like this.
point, but it's fine. It's good to speak to your point.
I'll be honest, I like the
all I was
store
gonna
one
say
better,
quickly
but
before,
okay.
so Kate can go back and talk about this. But I just think it's really cool that we have like regional looks, like the notion of like, oh, there's like a Hauser look, and there's a Fractured Peaks look, and that kind of thing. That is kind of interesting. That when you go into a particular zone in the world and you start collecting loot, you're actually picking up pieces that are of that zone, so you can actually dress more like a person from that zone if you want.
That's
to.
good.
That's right, particularly with the legendary gear when you're leveling up 100%. Yeah, so there's a lot more to discover even after that as you get into the world tier.
Did you want to, Kegan? You want to talk us through some of the
Yeah,
examples?
let's take a look at some of the shop armor.
This is tongue ripping, right?
Yeah, there's like,
No,
you
no,
can see
no.
blood right out of the mouth, right there.
I don't know if the names are final, but this guy, I think his name is Death Raven, the shop guy. But yeah, so you can see sort of like a side by side of in-game armor for the barb versus like a shop armor.
I think I just want to one thing. I think it's so funny that we accidentally got these really awesome poses for the in-game armors and all the shop armor with the person's dance.
Deadpan.
Like this was
Checking his look in the mirror.
This
like
wasn't
you're not
completely
going to
intentional, but it was a
Actually, I
funny.
wish the
Totally
pose is the
accurate.
same so I
Two
can compare
different
it.
teams
I think
made
this one looks
the
way cooler.
pictures, but
It's
yeah.
just like this.
But yeah, let's look through some of the other side by sides. But again, see
She's
the
very
sorceress.
excited to have found
She's
the
just like,
armor.
oh, I'm here. And then we have one of my favorites from the shop there. Oh yes, and this is Rogue side by side. So you can see, I think
This is good.
So keep an eye out for tons of
What's
really
the chat
cool,
saying?
diverse
I love the
fantasies in the
tassets.
shop.
I love the tassets on the in-game armor, and I love the pauldrons on the shop armor.
Just use the word
so cool.
tacit. I didn't.
There's honestly like
I've been in fancy games
the
for a long time.
MTX is focused
People are
on collection,
positive.
right? Like it's not like we're trying to like put only the cool stuff in one channel or the other.
Yeah.
There's awesome stuff to collect from the game and the shop.
And like you said earlier, like you can mix and match, create.
Yeah, I
your
mean,
own
like this
fantasy,
in-game one is
See,
fucking
now we're talking
awesome. I
about
love
my
this.
macro. But like for example, if I really like the in-game look, but I want that the shop helmet. Like when I buy that armor set, I can take that helmet and apply it to my in-game if I wanted to. Yeah.
That's right, and you can dye everything.
Oh, in the
So,
wardrobe,
like,
I
Oh
can actually
wow!
recolor
You
it.
can dye the
yeah, you
shop
can dye
gear too.
everything
That's
from the
cool.
shop and in the game. I think there are 8 colors in the dye palette, so yeah.
It's
Yeah, if
lit.
you haven't had a chance to check that out during Server Slam, you should make sure that you get a chance to put in the wardrobe and try dyeing some gear.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that's customization. And then one more thing is related to customization, not tied to appearances and looks, which I think we already have a good coverage on.
But we'll be adding new like legendary powers, like I called out before, and also new unique items with every new season. Make sure there's like new builds and ways to kind of like create customized characters.
And those will stay. Those aren't seasonal.
Yeah, those will be going to the Eternal Realm as well as the Seasonal Realm. They're going to be evergreen. They're going to be there after the season.
Very
is
cool.
over, continue to add to the pool.
And so speaking of evergreen, like that's true. Like there's potential to add side quests and things like that. Like there's ways to continue to enrich the open world through seasons that will actually stay as people sort of move from the season into the Eternal Realm or to the next season.
Yep, 100%. We are really looking for those opportunities to kind of continue to add people and continue to build out sanctuaries.
We never. I think maybe that might mentioned the Eternal Realm, but like that is the intention, much like Diablo 3, that a seasonal character will, be in the season playing everything that we've been talking about so far, and then when that season ends, that character will then move to the Eternal Realm where it will live on, and you can choose to play there, or you can choose for the next season, well, the new seasonal character and go within. Yeah?
That's absolutely right. So the characters will get merged down in the Eternal Realm at the end of the season, giving you an opportunity to take some of the stuff that they collected over that period of time, and then build new characters as part of the next season.
Yeah, there's no reason to feel like to shy away from starting a new character on the season, because you will retain all of that progress.
Absolutely.
Great.
Okay, cool. And so what about when we think about when I play the main game outside of a season, we know we have capstone dungeons to be able to change my difficulty tier. We know that at the end there's some mysterious level 100 boss that I want to try to get max out and prove I can beat this level 100 boss at level cap. Like,
Good.
Are there other things within seasons
like
that are
that.
kind of like that, or how do I think about that sort of notion about like this sort of looking to the horizon?
Aspirational content.
Well, once again, Rod Ferguson, I couldn't ask for a better tee up in this case. Let's discuss the idea of aspirational challenges.
That's exactly what I said.
Every season, we want to continue to build upon the end game and the goals that players can have for themselves. Every season,
It's important.
And we've got some particularly big ideas as we go through the first couple of seasons in launches. So what we do want to add these really, really pinnacle challenges for players to go engage with.
Pickle challenges?
Pinnacle challenges.
Pinnacle.
I honestly heard
Challenges?
We all heard pickle
zombies
challenges.
and pickles is
All right,
There
okay,
we
well,
go.
fair enough. All right, so
Throw in
maybe
some mayo in there.
at
It's a
SummerSlam.
sandwich.
this is the level of respect that Joseph Piper, substitute game director, gets on Diablo.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to the pickle challenges.
Yeah, same. Okay, so basically, we want to make sure that we've got these new big challenges for players to go and engage with every time we release the season. And as we go, we'll continue to add more depth to this. One thing we want to be very careful about is we're not looking to just sort of like arbitrarily continue to make the game longer and longer and longer and longer to play.
That's what
That's
PoE
not the
did.
goal. Again, we are balanced around hitting level 100, earning your Paragon points, getting all the legendary unique items. That's the real focus of power progression for the player. We want to provide new and distinct opportunities for players to kind of express that power and new goals for them to chase over the course of the season, without necessarily making like more stuff you have to go through in order to engage. So, things we're very excited about. New bosses, new major encounters, new things. And then as we see how players react to the game as it is, we'll continue to build in that direction as well.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting when we talked about like side quests and things like that. It's also true kind of for the end game is that we may use seasons to experiment with new in-game features, and then if it's working really well, we might decide to keep it. If it's not working quite so well, we may have it leave.
That's
with the
exactly what
season,
PoE
and then
does.
Maybe bring it back later. And what I like about the kind
We
of
have
quarterly
Manamorph and not
seasonal
Synthesis.
flow we have going is that it allows us to
Same with
experiment a
Sanctum.
little bit and see what works and what doesn't. And if it doesn't work, we know it's only there for 3 months. If it does work, hey, maybe we should have it stick around. So
I
it's a
wish
great
they do this more with
opportunity
WoW.
to try stuff out.
Absolutely, particularly as it relates to content too. It's like just being able to bring in like these really tough encounters and different bosses and things of that nature. And then these mechanical features, as we see how they perform and we see how players react to them, we may or may not decide to keep them on, to your point. And if they're particularly popular, we decide to keep them in.
Awesome.
We want to hear from players about what's working, what they're enjoying, and also, what kinds of fantasies they want us to make in the shop. So let us know anything that you want, gameplay or from the shop and battle.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, this is ultimately going to be a conversation. And as we see how players are actually playing Diablo 4, that's going to help us advise us on how we want to build Diablo 4.
That's unironically probably the best answer you could
Necro
give.
Look. I'm looking for a corpse exploding necro.
I think we got you covered.
Oh, okay.
You're going to have to
Kind
stay
of-
tuned for future seasons.
I thought it got nerfed.
Okay. Good to
Yeah,
know.
and I will say, like, I know we glossed over it really quickly, but we were talking about like meta changes and things like that, and like balancing and whatnot. That is included in the feedback. That is incredibly important for hearing from players related to that.
Yeah, I don't want to skip over that either. Thank you, Adam, for calling that out. So, if Diablo 4 is a game about choice, we want to make sure that we don't allow balance issues persist so long that they start to kind of interrupt or disrupt that choice that we're trying to provide for players. We don't want any one particular build to feel so powerful that there's not a reason to play other builds within a season.
Yeah,
So we want
exactly.
to make adjustments to make sure that player builds that might not be seeing as much play, get buffed and adjusted appropriately. Make sure that they do see more use as time goes on.
17 damage, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want one way to play. We want every class to have those all are equally as effective in terms of, we don't want to be like, only Warlord Barbarians can succeed, so only everybody's trying.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
No, that's
Reality,
fine.
there's some-
No,
every
no,
season's
no.
gonna be like, it's a little bit
No, it's
more
okay.
powerful, something
Just stick with that.
I just want to make sure that the distinction, the
No,
divide
sounds
there
good.
is not so
Yeah,
great
I'm
that
happy.
it feels like you're making the wrong choice mathematically to ever play anything beyond whatever's considered meta for that moment.
Right, well,
Right.
it's not like RPG players are min-maxers at all. They never try to do the most with the least ever.
No.
Joe, deadpan.
I'm not sorry for that. I think in the spirit of managing expectations and ripping band-aids off, I do think there's something we haven't talked about that we should at least say, knowing that we haven't talked about, which is leaderboards. I think the notion that I think people with Diablo 3 and even like D2R as an example, the main thing about the D2R season is a leaderboard.
Yeah.
And so just saying that in the early seasons, at least for season 1 and 2, there will not be a leaderboard.
Okay.
And that is something, again, as I said, a lot of stuff's already in flight. We understand the importance of leaderboards. We understand people wanting to be competitive in their PvE play, competitive in their build play, be able to show their mastery of certain things. And so it's definitely on our backlog that is a thing we're working towards, to provide the player community with leaderboards as we move forward through seasons, but it's
why
not
not?
something you're going to see in season 1 and potentially not in season 2. Again, I'm just managing expectations, so you're not yelling at me on Twitter after. We hear you. We
yell
know
at
we
you
want
now.
it. We're working on it. It's just not going to be there at launch.
Okay.
That's season 1.
That's right. So we're going to take the time to do them right. We'll bring them on as long as soon as we can.
Because they rushed it out?
Well,
I don't know.
I know we have a lot of questions here, and we've been collecting questions through chat and so forth like that. So I do want to go into at least a little bit of Q&A from people in chat. So if you guys have questions, feel free to throw them in chat, and we'll try to answer as many as possible. But I know we did touch on this really
When will
quickly.
season one- yeah, I
as
wanna
we're collecting
know.
these questions
Yeah,
right
when
now.
does season 1
but,
come out?
when will season 1 launch?
Do they have a date for it?
Mid-July. Mid to late July.
Mid to late July. So
I mean, the reason around the timing is twofold. One is we want to make sure that we will launch this season, we launch it into the best state the game can be in to accept that season. We don't, there's a launch of a game of this scale, there can always be some things that we have to work through and settle in. But two is just, as Joe talked about, you need to be able to get through the campaign before you start the season. So by having enough time in the what we call the preseason, and so in the preseason, Kagan, no battle pass because it's a preseason, but there will be basically a sort of a reduced scope shop, yes?
No battle
there
pass?
are some things you can buy. You can
Well, how do
sort
I
of
know how to
get a
play the
sense of
game?
What we have, there's, armor sets.
What the
mounts,
hell?
And mount armors, and then there's some other cool things.
How am I
like
supposed to know what to
emotes
do?
And headstones. So, like, if you die on the field of battle, you can leave behind a monument that is special.
That's good. They did
As
that with
we
Classic
said,
WoW.
Hardcore players, careful of PvP. When you die, you're dead.
yeah, dead forever.
Dead forever.
Yeah.
So,
In the game.
in the, no, we come to your house. We know where you live.
We don't have that kind of question.
No crash.
I thought that was our butcher.
It is
your house.
true hardcore. So that is a popular question that we've gotten where people were confused by like, hey,
Oh, these guys
is
are
that
great.
hardcore?
I love it.
Do you come back to life, or do you just like start off?
On hand, yeah, they're nuts.
Here or something
Roll
like that?
again,
It's like,
start
no,
again.
Yeah,
start all
again.
over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
And that's and in PvP too.
But,
Yes.
And that speaks to something that, as we talk about the shop and customization, is one of the things is that when you buy one of the things that's sort of different, the battle pass, as you talked about, is the armor and those sorts of things are class agnostic. That when I buy something, or when I get something in the battle pass, I can apply it to whatever class I'm playing.
Oh, I didn't know
but
that.
the shop is different because the shop you can actually target. I can go and say, oh, I want
I
this
guess that was from
necromancer
Diablo
look.
Immortal.
And it's not, it doesn't go
And
across.
it's very specific to, like, the necromancer fantasy.
Right, but it's not character based, it's account based. If I, for whatever reason, roll 5 necromancers, I can apply that armor to all 5 of them, right?
All future necromancers that you ever create.
any
So for
necromancer.
the
Okay.
infinite rogue like me, it's I'm gonna get a lot of value.
Right. Okay, great.
All right, I'm gonna try to pronounce these names, and some of them are easy, thankfully. But I'm gonna try to include people.
I was gonna say, like, he's like, I'm gonna try this, but Bob asks.
That's
and
a
you're like, good job, Adam. You nailed that one.
Stop on the back there. So we have a question from Negative Capable. If we get the premium battle pass late, is the favor retroactively applied?
It is.
That's
you
good.
will earn
That's
the
good they
favor,
add that.
and then it will unlock the tiers that, like the premium.
Most games
tiers
have
that,
this, but I'm glad they have it too.
You didn't unlock because you hadn't unlocked the premium battle pass yet.
Yeah, like this will earn everything in the feedback as well. Kind of making progress like the whole time.
The whole time.
Question
Yeah.
whether or not when you get the premium versions, when you get to get all the premium rewards. you
Yeah,
can
then
unlock.
it'll just suddenly unlock all those like locked premium tiers that you already went through.
And just a reminder,
Great.
premium tiers just being obviously the cosmetics blessings are part of the free.
See, Adam
right.
does
There are
community
no-
management.
there's
He
no
knows what people are going to
smoldering
think.
Zip, zero,
Yep.
no smoldering ash, no pay for power.
It doesn't matter how many times you say it. The
And
game's going to be
No,
pay
no,
to
no
win,
paper power at
okay?
all.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm just saying there's
Period.
smoldering
The
ash
people have
included.
already made up their
Yes.
mind.
But that's also
It's pay to win.
Just to clarify, like, that's also true of the season journey. Is that if I, let's say, you
Yeah,
know, I'm starting.
it's too bad.
I'm not getting the game so much later. It's season 2, and I'm buying the game at season 2. When I play the campaign, in the background, it's tracking the season journey accomplishments I'm doing while I'm playing the campaign. So it's not everything in the season journey is tied to like sort of open world seasonal play. It's also some things can be accomplished by playing the campaign. And so when I finish and I go into the season, all of a sudden, ding, 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 a bunch of stuff in the season journey will complete.
Yeah, that's the expectations. You'll be able to move through that season journey a little more quickly if you start in the campaign. You might not be able to like finish every chapter as you go, because there's going to be some things you have to kind of like participate in the season quest line or the season mechanics in order to really get. But you will be making progress the entire time. But I don't think that's the case likely to happen, because obviously everybody's going to buy Diablo 4 on open source, right? So yeah,
It's a good call.
Question from
QR code. QR code. You would like to? I did not see that when I said that. I'm even happier.
question from Juck Lax. Around what level will you end up getting to the mount specifically?
When do you get the mount? Yeah, that's a good question.
It was the question itself. I'm just trying to like work correct.
I think that is around level 30-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's around.
So we'll get that on day
Is
one.
that-
It depends. Like
Yeah, it really
depends
does.
on
every one of
It's
these,
every
every one of
player.
these questions
True.
is going to be depending on how you play.
Yeah.
Are you open world playing and you're driving up your level before you do the golden path in
Yep.
the campaign? Like basically the
So it's not like it's a reward
Yeah,
for
you
finishing the
can
campaign.
Use different names.
You get it during the
But the
campaign.
mount is unlocked as part of your campaign progression. Right. So you have to play the campaign at some point to unlock the mount. If you decide, I'm not touching the campaign, I'm going to get to level 100 just in the open world, you will not unlock that.
Okay.
Question from Day2. Are you going to move the altars each season so they're in different locations every single season?
Does it matter?
Right now, the plan is not to move them.
'Cause they don't
That's something
reset.
We've discussed as a team. We'll see what the feedback is like, but right now we don't want you to have to rediscover the locations every time if you're looking for them. But we'll see how things adjust as we play.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, why would that
Not
even
hard for us
matter?
to do.
And just to mess with you, we might anyway.
Maybe now
Bonuses
I
don't
will.
reset, you get renounced. Oh, good point. Good point. You're right.
Question from Slimy Salt.
Forgot about that.
People need
You committed to
we need more self-esteem in our community. I'm just telling you right now.
What about seasonal cosmetics? Are they account bound?
They are. So like, if you unlock a, I assume you're talking about the shopping battle pass cosmetics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you unlock a armor for your barbarian, all future barbarians that you ever make, and on the Eternal Realm, on the Seasonal Realm, it's usable on all of them.
Cool.
Yeah, that's about what I'd
Kiddo
expect. Great.
Asks,
Okay.
do ashes transfer over from previous seasons?
No. So with every new season, you'll be resetting and starting to go through your Ash collection once again.
It's also like one of the things maybe we didn't call it, but like the season, because there's season blessings. There was actually one that was top secret. So there'll be blessings. Those blessings we'll be playing with those. So there'll be season specific blessings where you may mess with what blessings you're working or not. Again, it's part of the quality of life where we go like, hey, we see this is an issue, or this is not working the way, or we see another opportunity.
Okay, sure. I mean,
So
this is
another place we can play every season.
it's not that
Question
big of a
from
deal. All right.
Infernal Odin, do you need to have the premium battle pass for the blessings?
You do not.
Yeah. You don't.
That's why
the ashes are on the free track itself.
Bro, people are
you
just
need
like,
the
they're
ashes
so
for the blessing.
worried that something's going to be pay to win.
Again, there's two conditions. You have to have the favor to get to those free tiers, and you need to have the level
I'm gonna ask a
requirement so that
question.
you, again, so everybody's at the same place, kind of from a play perspective. So there's no way to accelerate
Is Diablo
that
4 gonna be
somehow
pay to
using tier
win?
skips to pay for power or not. It's because it's on the free track, and you have to have a certain level requirement to be able to unlock that ash to be able to use in the blessing.
This is a long name, and I'm not going to try. Is every season to level 100?
Oh, I thought that was her name.
Oh, that is all.
Question from is every season. I'm like, wow, that is a long name.
Every season to level 100.
I mean, season until players decide that they've hit all the goals they have for
So you
themselves.
cry uncle.
But I mean, you are going to start level 1, and you are going to play level 100. You know, if you choose to, with every season.
Right.
But it's up for a player to choose what goals they want to really go after.
I think he was asking if they were increasing the level cap.
Question from Wittels. Will shop items stay in the shop, or will there be limited cosmetics too?
Oh, that is a great question. Sorry. So when items, the shop is actually personalized. There's limited shelf space in there, so you'll see a set of items in the shop.
Limited by
and then
who?
They'll swap out periodically. So in preseason, once a week on Tuesdays, some new things will come into the shop, some old things will come out of the shop. But when things leave, they're not like put into a vault. They will come back into the shop fairly frequently. Yeah.
I mean, everybody does this. That's just the way it is.
Recommended for you, which is one of the things that's really interesting. Is like when something leaves the shop, it actually goes into a
it's
pool
FOMO,
of things that can
just
be
the way it is,
recommended.
guys.
So if someone like Kagan, who's constantly playing Rogue, or somebody like me who's constantly playing Necro, they'll actually say like, "Hey, you seem to be playing a lot of Rogue. Here's some Rogue things that may either be new or something you may have missed previously, or hey, there's some Necro stuff." And so it's one of the things that's really nice about the shop is it has a little bit of that, intelligence, and then that has a recommendation engine where it can go and say like, "Hey, I noticed these you seem to be really interested in blood-looking things. Here's a new blood-looking thing, that kind of stuff." So I think it'll be a nice way to keep the shop fresh and interesting, and actually tailored to the person. So just to be so in the recommend for you, like Kagan's thing, her shop may look different with Rogue, as mine would be filled with Necros potentially. I mean, there'll be
You'll get a mix,
right?
But we want to make sure that the shop is serving you things that are actually interesting to you.
Well, yeah, because you want people to buy them.
Scroll through lots and lots of pages to find the exact thing you want. So,
okay.
But to answer the question, no, when things leave the shop, they are not gone for good. They will rotate back in, and the shop is trying to show you things that you want to buy. Yeah.
Right. But there are it's not just that section where things are being recommended. You also have class-specific areas. So even if I'm playing Necro all the time, but I'm really
has nobody used an in-game shop before? Like we know, guys. Come on.
That stuff's all there too. It's not like I'm limited to the stuff that it's recommending. I can go.
There's gonna be stuff on the store, and you could buy it. Sometimes you take it away.
The vault keys?
What is the vault keys? Sometimes, Eli,
He's racially ambiguous and batty. That guy's fucking ridiculous, and we don't know. Best not to ask yourself why. But my friend, you've arrived. Welcome to unsubscribe.
We talked about this with you guys.
No.
Batty, no. What was your favorite? What was your favorite? Who was one of your favorite podcasts?
You let me start the podcast yet?
No, not yet. I want to just. Who was one of your favorite
can
episodes?
I start the podcast?
Leave us in.
Can I? Can I? Welcome to the Instagram podcast. As always, we have Eli Doubles at myself, Batty Streams. And I'm just gonna go down the line. Che, Houston, Leon, we got everybody back. We're doing like a Brady Bunch fucking episode.
Yeah, got a 5 beat. How often you have 5 people?
Yeah, we're hungover. That's why we look like ass. You just see a decline in all these podcasts once a week. It's just this wrong ass look.
Just hungover from earlier today. It's like 7 p.m. right now.
Like, oh, it hurts.
Okay, do you actually have questions? Is
Yeah,
this like a real thing?
What was one of your favorite podcasts on this? Because you said it was.
Oh, okay, not like a podcast. One of my favorite unsubscribed podcasts.
It was Leon, right?
It was the Leon Lush episode. Yeah.
What was one of your least favorite?
JT and Caleb. Did he write down? He wrote that down, didn't he? That's not fair. That's easy.
This is Batty's watch. This one and Leon Lush's are my 2 favorite episodes. This was the JT episode and the Leon Lush. So someone's like,